If you wish to add more creativity to your life, you've clicked in the right video. Grab a cup of tea, sit comfortably because I'm going to put myself vulnerable in this video. Hi there, gorgeous soul, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I am Bob Spass. I'm a spiritual coach. I was born in Brazil and I'm based in the Netherlands. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you something that I put in my life to put more creativity. And it's not the ultimate guide, but it's something that worked for me and I'm sure it's going to work well for you too. So stay tuned. So when I was at the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, back in Brazil, I always worked on sales in the luxury market. I sold BMWs, I sold penthouses in front of the sea. My last job was, I loved it. It was in a haven where you can anchor your yacht, your private yacht. But then, 6 years ago, I came to the Netherlands. And once I arrived here, I didn't speak any Dutch. How could I find a job in the countryside, not in a big city, but in the countryside where I had to speak Dutch? Well, my ex-boyfriend, put a CV together and wrote a letter, and I got an interview. I went to the interview and people talked blah 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 blah, and when they stopped I'd say yeah, and then blah 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 in Dutch, and I yeah, and they talk and talk and talk. Well, I got a job. I didn't know what, but I got a job. When I arrived to work, my colleagues in the restaurant realized that I didn't speak that much Dutch. So I was put in the kitchen to be a dishwasher pilot. And I stayed there, I don't know, for 3 months or so, just in a big machine, putting boards, putting plates and putting it down. It was not glamorous. It was not sexy. It was not delicious. But okay, it was okay. And people bullying me all the time because I didn't speak the language, but I hold on. I hold on, and little by little, I came to the front part of the restaurant, serving tables, talking to people, and then I could learn Dutch. I could speak also Portuguese, Spanish, English, and whenever there was somebody there that they didn't speak the language, I was able to communicate somehow. After 2 years working in the restaurants, I began to work in the merchandise. I stayed 5 years in this company. I felt that I was deeply appreciated by the people I worked with, but not very well compensated. Every time that I looked at my paycheck, a part of my soul died, really. So I thought, I have to do something about it. I have to have more pleasure in my life. I have to do something that gives me passion, that sparks joy. So I decided to put more time and effort in my hobbies. I began to write. I wrote a book during the lockdown. I began to make videos. I have 2 channels, one in Portuguese and one in English, that I talk about spirituality, self-development, and I just created a 3rd one to teach how to YouTube. So I was in your shoes around 2 years ago when I created this channel. I am just a few steps ahead of you. Maybe you would like to create a YouTube channel or write a book. You can subscribe to my other channel. I'm going to put the description here below of my other channel where I teach how to YouTube. So after that, I made virtual training to become a coach, and I put more joy into my life. And you can do that too. Little by little, I was putting more time in doing the things that make my heart sing, and less time in working in something that it was difficult for me to keep having that amount of joy every time that I looked at my paycheck and I looked at my bank account. So I began to put more joy. How did I do that? By meditating, by exercising, by walking, by putting more time in myself instead of being somebody who's always searching for the dopamine that comes from outside, from the likes, from the shares, from the sound of my telephone singing. No. I find joy by walking in nature, by grounding myself, by putting myself, by recharging myself in the green alone. I don't need to watch television. I don't need to have the sound of music all the time on the background. I don't need 100 people calling me to invite me to parties. Now, when you put yourself, that's also a good, so my first tip is dopamine fasting. Do a fasting. So fasting from eating, fasting from dopamine. You are going to begin to appreciate the little things in life, like sitting and enjoying a cup of tea with my boyfriend, like walking in nature. The things, maybe this is also something that has to do with after the lockdown, everybody is looking more to themselves. They are more self-centric and less to the outside world. You have to make, there is a word for that in Dutch, is gezelligheid. You have to have gezelligheid. You have to have this cozy feeling from yourself and not from somebody else, and not from the outside world, and not from the likes, and not from the shares, but from something that comes. If you put your happiness in something that is outside of you, you are not going to have any control of it. You can only have control of something that you decide. Number 2 tip, wake up every morning and decide, this is going to be a wonderful day. I'm going to make it a wonderful day. You take some minutes to meditate and see your future self. If you want to wake up in 5 years from now, how will you know that you came to that sweet spot that you always wanted to be? What kind of relationships do you have? With what kind of people? How do they treat you? What is your job? We spend so many hours of the day working. It's got to be something that gives us pleasure. By the way, I quit my old job after 5 years there. I'm really grateful that they gave me a job without speaking any Dutch. I'm loyal. I stayed there for 5 contracts, for 5 seasons, but now I'm working for myself. What are you passionate about? I'm passionate about connecting with kind-hearted souls, helping the ones who are ready to take action. When I quit my ex-job, I decided to live full-time purpose. What could you do in your life right now to have some more fun, creativity, ideas? Put an action plan in place to create a space for your creativity and connect with your genius. You can think of this. If there is only one thing that you would leave, a painting, a song, a book, what would it be like? How would you like to be remembered after you die? How would you like people to say, hey, Babs was like this and like that. She used to what? What will people say about you after you've gone? To be a writer, you just need to write. And to become an author, you just have to publish what you've written. There are some reasons to write a book, to have a YouTube channel, a podcast, a blog, a vlog. You will discover who you truly are. You are going to be able to tell your story in your own voice because your story matters. Your own version, not the version that they are saying about you that suits them very well. You will have your own voice. The way you and only you can remember how things happened. And what are the lessons learned? What did you learn on the way, on your path? We are eternal souls. Our essence will stay here forever. But our body is not. We are here for a short lifetime. So, our time in earth is finite. And you are able to leave a legacy. You will have something to look back. You will spark passion. You will leave something to your kids, to your grandkids. You will leave your lessons learned. You will accomplish a challenge, and it's also free therapy. You will stop making excuses because you can. So begin to ask yourself, what are my core values in life? Which are your favorite flowers, colors, food? Which are your quirks? Who was your childhood hero? Who's your hero now? What were your childhood hobbies, games, things that you found fun? What stuff you used to do? Tell something about this one book that changed your life. The people who you admire. What are the wisdom words that you would like to leave? What are the top 3 things from your bucket list? What's your favorite animal? And which is your best landscape? Mountains, beach, forest, lake, what? What music cannot you live without? What is this one thing that you could do all day long if money wasn't a problem? Which spiritual animal are you? What is this place that you would like to visit before you die? What has meaning to you? Who you are? Leave that behind. Write about that. Make videos about that. What were the moments in your life that you felt creative the most? What would your craziest adventure would be? There. Make goosebumps in people. The future is creative. Dare to be your best version. Dare to leave your message behind. And dare, I'm going to give you an invitation. Dare to do it now, today. Put this phone down or this computer down and begin right now. That's my message for today. Hit the like button if you've learned something. Share this video with somebody that needs to hear this message today. And follow me in my other channel, How to YouTube. See you there. Ciao.